They say 1,523 Arukh HaShulchan. They are doing third estimate Sarivov. Say Mem Gimel through Aleph. Mem Gimel through Aleph. Mem Gimel. Zel Shem Ram Perek Vav Dinei. This is what the right. Ram right. Shtei Zul Gavzu. You have two gardens, one on top of the other. At Tachtonim Master Akem. Bottom one is a vineyard. V'Zeres Lani. You can plant the top one. Ach Magil Avir Asara Tvachim. So Akem until reach the airspace of 10 Tvachim adjacent to the vineyard. Shavi Asara Tvachim. So Magaram. The airspace of 10 Tvachim adjacent to the vineyard. Or the Gevin Yichidis. So the individual grapevine. Also is Zorim now to plant their seeds. Top one is a vineyard. Rabbi says the bottom one, you can find within 3 tvachim of the roots of the grapevines. And it's very brief, it's not understood at all. But the halacha is, it's like we said yesterday, we named it Ushami. Memdal. Bishoy says today is Yarko Tvua, somebody whose field is planted with vegetables or grain. To change his mind, now wants to plant grapevines in it. He can turn over the seeds with a plow and then plant. To plant grapevines. But you should not first plant the vines and then overturn the grain. The Shem is special because you're going to get lazy. Usually, it seems to be the b'diavad. In fact, after the fact, in dota, if you plant it, the grapevines, and then you turn over the grain, much is permissible. Also, is planted with grapevines, and you change your mind to plant it to a b'yerek, planted grain and vegetables. You can uproot the grapevines and then plant. If you want to uproot the grapevines to the point that there's going to be less than tefach adjacent to the ground, you can plant and then go back and uproot the remaining roots. Whatever's remaining roots may find it from the grapevines. If you really teach me a town, she too said that they've made us a shum shlo as we are. They didn't want to forbid him to plant seeds, shalish, until he uproots the roots. Shalazet serves man around. It takes a long time. Because Arukh HaShulchan, but they weren't concerned that he's not going to uproot. It's going to compel to do so after he cuts them down. Look, if otherwise, ain't a kakaroy, low the fine blows for. In the long run, his land won't be suitable neither for grapevines nor for grain. Hashem is going to definitely have to uproot them. Memhei. Isa B'Yushami says Yushami Sham Tanya. Some claim Omerim B'Tzak Fine, you can put sheaves next to grapevines. Come Rav Lokashi and Shema, you put grain name Garinim Marine La'aretz. We're not concerned. Maybe seeds will fall from the sheaves into the ground because it's smoking and they'll become vegetation. If you climb a camera, it's going to create climb in the big yard. Va'afagav Shehem Omerin Lo Chashinan. Even though when they are sheaves, they're not concerned. Because if the grain is still connected to the ground, even if the grain has dried up, shriveled up, nevertheless, you can't plant grapevines next to them. But it's the other way around. If you have grain next to dried up grapevines, that's mutzli that you can plant ayin sham. Tamposh reason is simple. By dried up grapevines, is no concern. But grain which came dry, caution with concern shemitoch hayavshus on account of the dryness. People are going the arts. The seeds will fall to the ground. They're going to become vegetation. If it's already sheaves, it's not considered nitlashu, because it's already set on the ground, but aim darkly and they don't normally fall. For Isa Sham, it also says there, Almashi's bar, that which we said, she too, like we said in the previous sip, that you're allowed to chop down the grapevines until it's less than a tefach. If the grapevines grow a little bit, start growing again. Whatever grain grew to now is permitted. Shetil also is because they allowed you to do this. But from here on in, once you see it gets above a tefach, it's forbidden. You have to immediately uproot those stumps, or cut them down to the back less than a tefach. Rambam because of the Melu, the Rambam doesn't write these lachos, well, he dati lama. I don't know why. Perhaps he also, they don't grow back. But Pasta begav and Shiav Shah, also passes when the grapevine goes dry. Thus, you can't plant there. Be'enim Mekadesh, even though it does not consecrate and forbid. Moshe said, "Receive Sif Lamed." Mishnah Reish Perek Zayin. Vanitama al Zeh Mistanadis. Like him, Yusham Misham Perek Beis. I'm right listening to Mishnah Zuel Livrei Meir. This is going to Meir, who's Ha'aser. Chachay Pligin the Mutter Afachat Chilo Chacham. Chachamim arguing to say you're allowed to plant even deliberately there. Lamatim Mishcholek Rabbi Elazar. You don't see anybody argues Rabbi Elazar's interpretation. Lamalo Pasak Ram McCain. Why Ram not Pasuk Svei V'Tzorich Iu. Memvav, Shanina by Mishnah. We learned the Mishnah. Ma'aver Shlosh Kfanim, somebody who runs runners of 3 grapevines. You call him the ram, and the roots can be seen. Mishnah Me'arba if you had between the runners from between 4 to 8 amos, Harei Starfos, they join together. If not 8 Starfos, they don't join together. This is me saying. You made 2 runners off of 1 grapevine. Shkiva Kula Bakarka. You didn't put it completely in the ground. Its head comes up on one side, but now it's shisha. And from 3, you now have 6. In other words, one here with the runner, one there with the runner, and one further down with the runner. Now you have 6, but it's at least 2 by 2 by 1. But obviously it's not required to have that bracha. Without bracha, you still have 5. If between each grapevine, and so too from the 2 which came out from 1, from 4 to 8, which is normal shear between grapevines, as when people normally plant it. But it's not closer than 4 amos. Because it's less than 4 amos distance. It's like they're planted too close together, and so we're about going to be uprooted. Not more than 8 amos gap. Because more than 8 amos gap, is considered to be an individual grapevine. So then they all join together. It was carried to be a vineyard. So this is any grain or vegetables in there. 4 amos kedin avodas hakerem, as the law of avodas hakerem requires. If not, aim starfos, they're not the proper shear, they don't join together. This is of 6 tvachim, kedin kefi yechidis, as the halacha with an individual grapevine. They don't interpret this way. Because of a rivet preparing vav din tes hayin sham. Memtzai Rambam sham hita mishnah gamar acheres. He has a different interpretation. Especially the way he says, if you run 3 runners of 3 grapevines, and you can see the roots. If you have between 4 and 8 amos, they join together with the other grapevines which are standing there. It's as if you didn't shoot runners off of them. If you allow it, if not, anim and starfless. If not, they don't join together. If it's they're less than 3, anim and starfless, they don't join together. And marking them shisha tvaim chalruach, you just did to yourself 6 tvaim to each direction. But it's the way you plant akal and shorah. Shurachar v'siv chavav. Usually, seems to me the Rambam have a question. Mal lashim it's starfless, ain't starfless. What's the language of they join together, don't join together? Have a little mar. You should just say I raise a karen, no karen. It's a binyan, not a binyan. For the why you need 3? 2 is enough, like we said before. For learning load lav dafka, it doesn't seem to him that it's lav dafka. Well, it means really the third one is superfluous because it's as if it's there because you only need 5. For furthermore, the Lamaid Tani being lav v'chulei, that which says if not it's set up shita to a different finding point. If they don't have between 4 and 8, are they any different than regular grapevines? For extra can rush, what's it's obvious. He learns that he learns that the joins together with other grapevines. If it's less than 3, they're not significant to be separate from the vineyard. Even if there isn't in the extent of the runner 4 amos or shiach or more than 8. When you did 3 runners, as yesh name 4 amos and ches amos. If between them 4 to 8 amos, they're part of the main part of the vineyard. If not, you also karen. they are excluded from the vineyard. And they're like individual grapevines. So it says that presumably that if the havracha, if I understand correctly, the havracha is within 4 to 8 amos of the rest of the vineyard, it's part of the vineyard. The havracha is not within 4 to 8 amos of the vineyard, it's not part of the vineyard. It's just that even the havracha makes it part of the vineyard. The havracha, it's not part of the vineyard. But actually, it's possible that in the actual halacha there's a difference. The gam below shark finding hadin kain, and also without the other grapevines, this would be the halacha. I think that's partial. Why would anybody argue on this? It's just a different scenario. Anyway, if they're individual grapevines, then you give 6 tvachim also from the side of the runner in the place that comes out of the ground. And that's also clear in the there before this Mishnah. I'm probably missing something here, but not sure what. Anyway, the bracket says here, Rasha Babasa pay Gimel Pirshka Rasha and Sham Rabban Kosav Sham the Shtein Lonas Klein no limits to 2 trees no matter what don't join together with the vineyard. Why would they not join together if they're the proper achaka? Kani Perish Ram Perish Meruvach, but name what the Ram says is a broad way of understanding. Variety is going the Rabbi lays a claim against him. It's not a valid claim of Baduk. Memches. Kolos Area Tagas Swigim Baal Alim Geffen. Anybody who plants underneath the branches and the leaves which come out of the grapevine, I raise a kiddush consecrated and forbidden. Zera Rochok Mikra Geffen Kamamas, even if the seed is distant from the trunk of the grapevine. For several amos. You need to last again apipirus. If you cantilever the grapevine on an apipirus. In Kairukim, these are trellises, long sticks. From which you extend the branches of the grapevine. When they're very long. Most of the birds can't plant underneath the sticks over which the grapevines are not yet growing, because they're eventually going to shoot out in that direction. Even though they don't yet have any leaves or branches. If you did, since right now it's not underneath the foliage of the grapevine, raise a mutter. Also, if you cantilever the grapevine on some branches of a tree, which is not a fruit-bearing tree, going to areas such as a cedar tree, a brooch, and some sort of other tree. But if you cantilever them on a fruit tree, you plant underneath the branches on which the branches of the grapevine have not yet extended. The person does not nullify his fruit tree, but say make it a trellis for a grapevine. But that specific branch is also interesting. In other words, it's not extending to other parts of foliage, but that specific branch does become like an apiporus. Okay. If the branches extend after you planted on the other branches, and they extend over the grain, you gotta reroute the grapevine branches to somewhere else. Most apiporus, but some of you plants underneath the extension of the trellis, so tagas mostly on the extension of the tree, she'enos pears, which does not make fruit, and on this trellis or on the barren tree, the grapevine branches extend, and they now are covering over the seeds. It's also kaimo. You can't leave it. But God also allows you to and you can't reroute the branches. In the case of the Yaseh, what you got to do, Oker Azoyim Megamri. That's it. It became Osir. Because you're kind of negligent. Okay, Memtes. Yesh apiparashim ne orkan tomchim asabakanim imshachim lahalon. The trellises, which because of their length, you support them with sticks, and they continue further, I guess, vertical sticks or the horizontal sticks. Zekol Hashem Mishta Aris, and that's called Aris. So Chen Konim Ayotzim Min Aris v'Chasa in the Paskan. If you have sticks which are coming out beyond the vertical supports, and you don't want to cut them off in order not to destroy the trellis, you can plant underneath them. Because they are subordinate. The tafel etzem akfanim. They are subordinate to the grapevines. That was, I guess, insignificant. Obviously, leaves them in order that the trellis should extend that direction. And the leaves which grow now copy porous. They also become like the trellis. But also that's no different. I can't plant underneath them like the apiporus itself. I think the oris here is not actually the vertical supports, but it's the extension of the trellis horizontally. It's not the actual trellis, but it's the extension of it. Okay, Gimel. Davar move nun. Sorry. Davar move on the Arba Amos. There was Kem Tzorchaniya Mokum Shkol Asriyim Balim Apiporus. The 4 Amos. A gap between the vineyard and anything else. You have to leave from the place where the branches end and the leaves end over the trellis. So now it says if you have a flower which comes out from the extended trellis, also to test connect also as if a plumb line is hanging down, and the opposite is also dalis and sham. Also dalis if the branches and leaves go well beyond the oris line, in other words, more than the 4 amos, which is the kerem also so connected. You can't plant opposite them. After it's kvar kvar, even though the trellis is stopped even. But there's here leniency. If they're not growing on top of the trellis, they're going beyond the trellis. You don't have to be 4 amos over as a kerem. And that's why it says you look as if a plumb line's coming down. That's the plumb weight that the builders lower with a string on the surface of a building to see if it's plumb or not. Plumb. The seeds immediately underneath the flower also are not more. Meaning an individual grapevine, which is cantilevered on top of poles. If it goes beyond 6 tefachim, which is the avodah of an individual geffen. Also opposite that extension is also less than more only 6 tefachim on the extension. Now, also, if somebody is drawing a branch from tree to tree, only underneath this also, not to the sides. But if you tied a guide wire, a rope, or a hemp line to the branch, and you tied the other the side of this rope to the tree, there's nothing's going there. Stop. It's kosher chevel gemi. It's not a guide wire. There's nothing underneath, nothing going there. Just stand there like it's chevel gemi. You can't be allowed to plant underneath the rope or the hemp. No time it's not whatever gemi is actually made of. The low diamond is more, it's not like a branch, it's my gaffin, which is actually part of the grapevine. Now, if your intent was, when you did draw that rope or that line, that the branch leaf should grow in that direction, it's like a trellis, also and now it's underneath it, then it's din, it's like a branch itself.